Hey, what is up everybody? It is I am the one and only Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I am of course back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Super Mario 64 DS for the Nintendo DS. So, last time we have managed to accomplish the forms of not only Snowman's Land, but also we did manage to 100% everything in terms of the forms of Wet Dry World, and also we did manage to tackle through 3 missions in the forms of Tall Mountain. So because of that though, yeah, we actually did those 2 worlds within like in the quickest time possible. So but either way though, yeah, today for this episode is the fact though, in addition to able to hopefully conclude it, you know, the Tall Mountain world, we're also going to be able to tackling through another world, which appears to be, well, let's just say, Tiny Huge Island. So because of that, though, we're able to actually focusing on Tall Mountain from now on, and, well, once we're done with that, we can pretty much move on to the next world. So, anyway, Mission 2, Mystery of the Monkey Cage. And for this mission, I think it's probably best to go for Mario, because if you manage to use Yoshi on this mission, then basically if you somehow eat up the monkey, then I'm pretty sure it will not count or something like that. Because obviously, you know, you have to require either Mario or Luigi or Wario, for that matter, to actually pick up something. To be more specifically, either the monkey in this world, or specifically the penguin from the likes of Cool Mountain. So, yeah, anyway, so let's go ahead and, take a nice little, quickest way to go out there by utilizing the owl, so that way we can actually just go out there quite fast. So, obviously, of course, you need to pick up this monkey at the very top of the mountain, because otherwise, if you do catch him, then basically you have an option between take me there or just free him. But honestly, I always gonna go for free him, just in case he'll able to automatically go into the forms of the monkey cage itself. In this case, it contains a power star itself. And if I were you, don't jump down really early whilst the forms of the spinning animation is finished. So because of that though, you always have to wait until that cage instantly gets dropped down. And obviously, if you do manage to wait for a bit, then you would able to get the power star itself, just like so. So yeah, it's a very easy self-explanatory mission if you manage to know what you're doing. So either way though, it looks like I got myself 50 extra lives, or 51 if you want to count the 0 extra lives count. So, Mission 4, Mysterious Mountainside, and I think if I recall correctly, I'm also able to do not only for this mission, but also I'm also able to do the hardest challenge in the whole entire world, which appears to be, of course, the 100 coin Power Star mission. Now, if you couldn't tell already, this is actually my 3rd attempt for this recording session, by the way, for the actual capture recording. It's nothing bad or anything when it comes to the previous 2 attempts. However, though, the problem with that is the fact that I somehow got screwed over a lot. Specifically, well, let's just say the first attempt recording session on this part, it all goes all fine and dandy, except when it comes to the point where, you know, if you're trying to take on new forms of the 100 coin Power Star mission, I seriously got screwed up by a lot of emphasis on the forms of, well, let's just say the hardest slide in the game, for example. That's, geez Louise, trying to actually grab every single coin in this remake, in the actual slide, segment, is actually a lot difficult than the forms of how it does in the original. Because normally, in the original version of Super Mario 64, that if you somehow die in the slide segment, not only does it able to actually give you the opportunity to actually re-grab those coins all over again, but you do realize is the fact that you know what the actual exit part, that if you try to be focusing, excuse me, that if you try to focusing on the forms of, well, the 100 coin Power Star mission, then that way you can able to leave the actual, the ending portion straight away, and then focusing on the actual coin collectathon. But in here, though, obviously the actual, the hole itself is now sealed up for reals this time. Unless if there's any opportunity that you can able to actually just to go ahead and, well, trying to utilize the invincibility power-up for Luigi or something. But then again though, it has been quite a long time since I actually did manage to play this particular game, unlike the original, including Super Mario 3D All-Stars compilation, so... Although, speaking of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, is the fact that, yes, unfortunately though, we've only got about, well, let's just say 10 days left until the game is now going to be no longer going to be able to be available on the actual eShop download, which is kind of sucks, honestly, especially noticeable because either way though, for those of you able to actually miss out on the forms of the most amazing Mario's 3D Adventures and stuff like that, and I do apologize for that actual background noise you'll be hearing in the background. That's only because, well, obviously Tiana just managed to able to message me and stuff. So either way though, yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. So and also that we only got about 10 more days to go until specifically Super Mario Bros. 35 will be ending service, or to be more specifically, it will close down for good, which just sucks honestly, because I actually enjoyed that game for a bit, but after about a couple of matches later, I somehow for whatever reason gave up on it. It's nothing bad or anything, it's just the fact that I'm just getting sick of replaying for the exact same levels over and over and over again. And so when I start to realize about the fact that sometimes it can be pretty much randomized each time whenever I manage to go into the forms of the 35 player battle royale mode, especially noticeable in the special event matches. Speaking of these special event matches though, is that usually until tomorrow, that the third and the last you know, special kind of challenge when it comes to Super Mario Bros. 35. Obviously, they'll bring into the forms of World Challenge number 3 for specifically in Super Mario Bros. 35. That was the fact that I'm pretty sure you need to able to gather about, well, let's just say 350 million coins during worldwide players or something like that. Mind you, it has been quite a long while since I actually did manage to play Super Mario Bros. 35, even though it's kind of a shame that we only got 10 days left now. Especially noticeable, it's bad enough about the fact that, well, no one else can able to play anymore, which is kind of sucks honestly, because unlike any forms of Tetris 99, that you can able to actually play it like an insane amount of times as you wanted to, which is great all in all. But unfortunately though, for Super Mario Bros. 35, that you can no longer try to continuously play it for a long time, which is pretty sad, because even then though, that was the most coolest thing in the world. Especially noticeable, just like in the forms of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, as in the forms of the actual compilation game on the Switch, which I think it does suddenly manage to able to give us the potentially get the idea of how great the compilation is. So I can't really tell of how the fact that how many physical copies sold at this point. Well, we'll find out until specifically later on throughout the year. But either way though, let's not worry about this right now, because even then though, since that we actually got ourselves about 71 or 76 coins, or possibly more than that, then we can able to actually try to take on the forms of, in my opinion, the hardest slide section in the whole entire game. Just because of how the fact that you have to be so accurate with all these little movements, jumps, and anything else like that. And also it's bad enough that you only have to able to try to go ahead and try to do it the most careful way possible when it comes to obtain a power star, as you can see right there. And once you're done with that, then you pretty much be good to go when it comes to the forms of the 100 coin power star mission. Because I will say, this is definitely a lot harder than the forms of how it does in the original though, in my opinion, just because, well, obviously you're gonna have to able to go for a lot of stuff like this, I could imagine. So, but we will do, and that's what I get for able to doing multiple recording attempts on that. But that's fine, because we already got ourselves a whole bunch of extra lives, and also to top it off, we also got the power star itself, so we don't have to worry about this anymore. So, anyway though, so a few things I want to explain about this as well is that obviously today's day is of course the 22nd of March today, in this case in 2021. We're almost there to the forms of April at this point, especially noticeable because at the moment right now, on the UK timeline, I'm pretty sure we're on spring at the moment, so because of that though, although I may be wrong, But either way though, that usually relatively speaking, the flowers are blooming, and also it's the fact that some of these bees, and even especially noticeable with these butterflies flying around all of a sudden, and oh no, it's gonna be a good spring. Even though, despite the fact that we've still ended up on this whole disaster thing at the moment, which is very underwhelming, just like the forms of how it does in that, you know what I mean. And, hopefully we'll try to able to be, the most positive thing as we possibly could, if depending on the forms of that stupid, you know what I mean. Alright, so mission 5, blast to the lonely mushroom. Now, there are 3 different methods you can able to do this, actually. For one, you can either use Luigi's backflip twirling kind of ability. That way you can able to actually just get some floaty particular stuff for a few moments notice. Or you can able to actually use the owl and able to drop down from there. Or thirdly, you can able to do it normally by utilizing the cannon while you're trying to talk to Bob Buddy and what have you. So either way though, but honestly I'd love to able to do multiple different things about this. So either way though, let's go ahead and dive into the mushroom itself. So yeah, pretty awesome sauce, potentially speaking. So either way though, and it looks like we only got about 1 more power star left in terms of Total Mountain, and it looks like we almost reached to 120 power stars. So mission 6, 5 secrets of the mountain. And of course we do need to acquire Mario for this mission because, well, if you remember from the likes of the Bob-omb Battlefield world, that basically you do realize is the fact that we obviously already went through those little ring-shaped coins, or the coin kind of rings to go through, that ever since in Mario's Wings to the Sky mission from the likes of Bob-omb Battlefield, well, we got to do this again, except now we're going to be ended up on the forms at the very top of the mountain, and as a result, it might structure very similar though too. Although, except the fact that rather than just using the cannon this time around, instead we have to just, you know, try to pull off some triple jumps or what have you until you're able to actually get yourselves some altitude or anything else like that. So either way though, I do apologize that the actual commentary itself gets a bit slightly iffy at this point, but mainly because of how the fact that there's not much else news or discussions I like to point things out for this point. So but hopefully during later on, for the majority at the end of March or something like that, or specifically whenever we get on to April, then we can probably talk more details about the forms of some other announcements or anything else like that. So it could be like a multiple possibilities that we can think of. So in fact, talking of which though actually, is the fact that obviously we only got about 3 more days to go until the Nintendo 3DS, at least in the UK, will be 10 years old by then. So, in this case, a decade old. So, geez, I can't even believe time itself just went flying all of a sudden. Which is especially true whenever you try to able to play games, going out some places, even though despite the fact that we still ended up stuck inside for the most part. And why do I keep missing that coin over there? Ah, jeez, I'm always having some incredible bad luck when it comes to likely trying to deal with, like, trying to grab that darn coin in the middle. But thankfully I did, for the 3rd time's the charm, and once you find all 5 secrets, then obviously the power star is now rewarded to you. And of course, since we actually got ourselves 120 power stars at this point, so this meaning that just like in the original, well, unlike the original game, or I don't know, it has been a really long time since I actually did done some of my recording sessions at this point, especially notable because after all, that ever since yesterday, that Maxi, he's pretty much almost nearly concluded his Let's Play of Mario Kart Arcade GP1 recently. So anyways, let's move on to the next world, which is Tiny Huge Island, and the first mission we have is Pluck the Piranha Flower. And of course, I believe we do need to acquire Mario for this, because obviously Yoshi cannot punch or anything else like that, so Mario, he's the only one who can do it. So, and of course, just like in the original game, that you can able to use the pipe to able to actually go from like the huge island or the tiny island. So, in fact, this world does remind me of the forms of Giant Land from the likes of Super Mario Bros. 3, except the biggest difference is of course this is in 3D rather than 2D, so yeah, that begs the question for that. So And this is where the point where getting the 100 coin Power Star mission can get a lot more tricky and difficult. Although, mind you, whenever we get onto the forms of the next course after this, I honestly don't think the next course is 100 coin Power Star mission to be all that troublesome and all. But the only ones I found is a really biggest pain in the butt is the final one until at the very end of the game. But we'll get into more about it until later on. So anyway, let's head back in here and do the next mission. So, mission 2, the tip top of the huge island. And let's go for Luigi, because obviously that Luigi can able to actually do a lot of work going on around here. Although, mind you, I haven't really played that much of Wario though, even though, mind you, that we will point it out whenever we get into the forms of the latest. How the heck did that club though just manage to hit me like that? Oh well, no big deal. But at least we did manage to activate the cannon thanks to the forms of that Bob-omb Buddy, so we can able to actually expect that. So, but that'll be for later. So, in fact, kind of thing about it though is the fact that since then we've almost finishing up in terms of the forms of Super Mario 64 DS at this point. Although, mind you though, there will gonna be some of these mini games I would love to show off. Until when it gets to the point until by the very end of the game, which we'll point it out whenever we get into it. So because of that though, yeah, there's not much else I can say. So anyway, so let's go ahead and hit this block, and that way we get ourselves, what else? Another Power Star. I believe the amount of stars we only got left is, I think we got about 28 Power Stars left. So yeah, we're actually getting pretty close towards the very end. So anyways, let's head back in here and do the third mission, which is Rematch with Koopa the Quick. And of course, we do need to acquire Mario for this, so because of that though, much like in Bob-omb Battlefield, that if you do manage to able to stick with the forms of Yoshi on this mission, or any Koopa the Quick missions, obviously the mission will not be accessed with Yoshi. So only Mario, he was the only one who can do it, so anyway though, so another thing I want to point out right away is the fact that speaking of the forms of Sonic the Hedgehog kind of related stuff, obviously since how the fact that you notice about the fact that ever since about a week ago, that recently that the film productioning team when it comes to forms of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie is beginning its production when it comes to filming production. So because of that though, yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how that's going to turn out until specifically next year. So because of that though, yeah, I'm super hyped about this, especially noticeable because after when the first film is actually a huge success when it comes to the forms of box office and several other reviews alike, well, despite the fact that critics might able to actually give it a 63%, which I found it to be alright, but either way though, but I still would enjoy it nonetheless, so anyway though, so let's go ahead and move on to the next mission at this point, because after all, we've managed to finish up for this. Now, there's actually a new mission that has also been replaced, although before we get into that, Mission 4, Klopdo the Condor. And this is basically like, although kind of thing about it though, unlike the original version of this particular level, there's also that one particular mission which appears to be buddy forms of the 5 secrets of the island, which that particular mission has been replaced, by the way, by this mission in the DS remake. I think I know why. It's because, usually relatively speaking, is the fact that, well, I'm not exactly sure why that usually has been changed, but either way though, because for example, if I come across into that tip top of the mountain, as you can tell, that it doesn't show us the number count. So because of that though, it's been replaced by this. So now obviously if you ever played the forms of Shifting Sandland mission before, you know exactly how this sounds. Basically, all you have to do is basically you just have to touch Klopdo the bird, or Condor the Klopdo, or I don't know. It has been quite a few days since I actually done some of my commentary and stuff like that, which I do apologize for that. But then again though, whenever we get into the forms of towards the end of the game, that I will sure I can able to actually mention more about certain things. So anyways, touch him, and then the Power Star will go almost right near to the exact same spot as in the forms of how it does in the forms of the 5 Secrets of the Island mission from the N64 original. But you can either just do this little awesome twirling ability for Luigi's backflip jump, and that way you can able to land very clearly when it comes to able to actually just try to ignore the bottomless pit down below. So, yeah, that should able to help us out through. Alright, so mission number 5, Wiggler's Red Coins. And since we're going to be able to do the Red Coin mission, I think I'm also able to also tackle the 100 Coin Power Star mission as well. So, although I'm pretty sure this won't be that hard compared to the forms of how it does it on Total Mountain. But whenever we get into the final course of the game, which is of course Rainbow Ride, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on trial and error on that specific course, I will have to admit though. Which is especially true because of how the fact that usually because Rainbow Ride is always have to be one of the hardest worlds throughout the whole game, which is pretty true from my recollection. So either way though, that pretty much subs up from there. So, and it looks like you're going to chuck me back into right there. So thanks a lot, you stupid little throwing bomb kind of whatever that thing is. So of course, if you couldn't tell already that, well, the reason why I keep on grabbing those blue coins, by the way, is that, yes, to get blue coins in this world, that is especially noticeable if you really want to go for the 100 coin Power Star mission throughout the whole game. Well, basically, you're going to have to able to ground pound these giant Goombas, because if you simply jump on them, basically it just gives you just a regular coin instead. So best be sure to ground pound these guys, and that way you would be able to actually grab those blue coins no problem. So because of that though, yeah, there's not much else to say, especially noticeable because either way though, relatively speaking, it's just the fact of the matter is though is that, well, we're actually getting pretty close. So anyway though, another thing is worth noting for is the fact that I did manage to recently visit with Shadow and Silver during the course of the specifically Shadow's room or something like that, and he did manage to able to actually just to let me try out the Xbox Series X the other day. Not gonna say, I'm quite impressed about the forms of the Xbox Series X so far. Well, first of all, I found the UI is actually a lot better than the forms of how it does it on the Xbox One, in my opinion. And also, the quality does look pretty cool looking. And even the controller, man. Oh, man. The Xbox Series X controller is the most comfortable thing I've ever held. Although, mind you, some people seem to say that DualSense controller might actually be the best PlayStation controller ever, which is understandable because of more features and all that stuff though. Although, mind you, I haven't still got the PlayStation 5 though, mainly it's because of how oversized that thing is, especially noticeable because of the expensive pricing as far as I'm aware, and also because of the fact that much like Xbox Series X, that it's all about the limitation stocks or anything else like that. So, in fact, let me know in the comments below of what you think about the forms of the Xbox Series X. Have you experiencing this yet? Or, if not, due to the forms of some stocking issues, due to the forms of that stupid, you know, viruses around. So, because of that, though, yeah, we could expect this much. Although, gotta think about it though, if I've heard that there was actually the forms of the South Park episode all about the forms of the vaccination, which is actually pretty good. Although, mind you though, is the fact that, usually relatively speaking, is the fact that, one of those, characters did manage to say, like, it could be, like, 2021 could be very similar to 2020 for some extent. But, either way though, despite we got vaccines still, but we'll have to wait and see what happens during later on throughout the forms of 2021 and beyond. So because of that though, well, we still managed to get excited for most things anyway. And the only thing I'm still worried about is the forms of the lack of, well, 30th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog related stuff, which I was so desperate if that event is still about to happen. But they're about to be doing the concert or anything else like that. But we don't know exactly when is it going to be able to make its existence or something. But even then, again, I do apologize if the actual commentary itself gets a bit, well, you know what I mean, slightly off at this point. But don't worry though, until specifically this Wednesday in particular, then we can probably discuss more about much more better details. So because of that though, yeah, it's going to have to mainly focusing on that. you know what I mean, a very, very picky 100 coin Power Star mission at this point. But either way though, we're able to try our best if we're able to try to do as much as we can. So anyway, so let's go ahead and... Oh, son of a biscuit! Seriously, trying to jump on enemies is not as easy in this remake, I swear. Like, I swear to God, it's actually a lot harder than the forms of the original, though, in my opinion, just because, well, obviously in the original, I can able to take those enemies down for no problem. Especially noticeable, it also includes the 3D All-Stars compilation as well, so I still have no idea why. But anyway, I think we actually got enough coins as it is, so even then though, let's just carefully walk onto this little bridge, and hopefully we would be able to enter in this hole here. And from here then we can able to probably guarantee that we can able to actually grab the majority of those coins, including the red coins, blue coins essentially, and I think we should able to get enough for the 100 coin Power Star mission as well. So yeah, that should be pretty surprising as far as I'm aware. So anyway, so let's go ahead and eat up these red coins. So thankfully with Yoshi's tongue, you can able to actually eat those coins no matter what. So unless I switched over there as well. So that could be a new, that could be some sort of like a new additional mission that we can go through eventually. Anyways, let's do a flutter jump and grab the red coin, and there we go. So that way oh god. Okay. Thankfully I didn't touch the actual red coin star yet, so... Oh boy, this is gonna be something else. No! 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 No, 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 no. Fudge. I messed up everything. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, I've got the exact same amount of coins as in from before, but hopefully without even trying to mess things up. I'm pretty sure the only thing I'm blaming on about is the camera, because I seriously swear to God, I can't really tell if I can able to either grab the ledge or anything else like that. And also, if you couldn't tell on the bottom screen portion of this particular capture screen, they do realize I've now got 53 lives. Well, the only reason being for that is that I accidentally managed to get myself another death, thanks to the forms of, well, let's just say one of those enemies just managed to bump me off, so... But thankfully though, we managed to die anyway, so... Seriously, let me just get this clear right now. I absolutely despise the 100 coin Power Star missions, because sometimes you can only just do this in one specific attempt, and you can't afford to mess it up, and as a result, that, well, you just don't want to get messed up, so... Anyway though, so let's move on to mission 6, which is make regular Squam. So, I believe we'll go for Mario for this mission, so... Oh, jeez. But don't worry though, we're almost nearly at the end in terms of those 100 coin Power Star missions throughout the whole game. So, at least we can able to actually expect to be hyped about. But then again though, that it gets progressively difficult if you're trying to able to... Yeah, you know what I mean, trying to able to go ahead and just trying to grab the majority of those coins. So, oh, okay. So, just ground pound in any spot, and then that actually creates a hole, so that way we can able to go into the entrance to, well, let's just say the next boss. So, yeah, that's sure it's something, alright? Alright, so let's just make sure we don't get caught by that. Can you get up there? Thank you. Oh, jeez. No, 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 no. Okay, that's fine. I'm hoping. Yeah, that's fine. Because, obviously, if I do somehow manage to get slowed off from down there, I will be pretty much going to be screwed for that point. So, anyway, though, so let's go ahead and just run up and enter this hole down there. And, of course, we're able to enter in a boss fight, which is a Wiggler. Well, at least she's pretty much going to be mad for the whole way through. So, although I was normally trying to go ahead and trying to able to read up the text here, but honestly, guys, there's not much else I can honestly try to talk about. So, because of that, though, I do apologize for that. So, anyway, no, so let's go ahead and face off against with Wiggler. So, in this case, we do need to jump on her 3 times, and then every time we jump on her, basically that the more madder she will get. So because of that though, yeah, you're gonna have to jump on her 3 times. In fact, you can able to actually just just trying to jump while trying to able to stand completely still on one spot, so that way you can able to deal with that wickeder boss fight no problem, as you can see. So definitely the easiest boss in the game, just because you can just simply just jump on her 3 times, and that's all you really have to do here. So anyway, so let's grab that power star, and I think we only got about 1 more power star left in terms of Tiny Huge Island, and we'll be good to go in terms of the forms of the actual the course itself. So either way though, now let's go ahead and now if you guys are probably wondering why I just ignored the big picture frame, by the way, well, I'll point it out until later. So switch star on the island, and of course we're gonna be going for yeah, let's go for Luigi. So because of that though, and I think it's gonna be on the exact same spot as in the forms of Wiggler's red coins for sure. So we can able to try to go ahead and find a switch star from there. So because of that though, yeah, not much else to say about this honestly. So either way though, now if you guys are probably thinking about, yes, much like the forms of the original Super Mario 64 Let's Play, obviously that I seem to somehow ignored the big picture version of the specific picture frames of 2 Goombas in particular. Like, I ignored the bigger sized picture, and I always attempt to go for the smaller picture frame, because obviously the actual process gets a little bit faster in my opinion. So anyways, let's go ahead and hopefully trying to make our way to the switch star itself. Although obviously Luigi cannot even use the wall jump, but he can do a backflip and what have you, so that way he can jump higher. And there we go, that pretty much wraps it up in terms of Tiny Huge Island. Now as you can see, we got about 128 power stars. Not to be confused like the exact same number as in the forms of some sort of a tech demo of the Nintendo GameCube with Super Mario 128, although that game has been cancelled, although it's been replaced by Pikmin. So, oh, what is this? I can't go there with Yoshi? Oh well, we'll try to able to change it back to Mario during at some point and during the forms in the next video. So, but then again, I do apologize that the commentary itself gets a bit slightly iffy for the most part, as I said. But then again, we'll trying to improve our commentary until the next day. So I guess we should probably end things off here. So join me next time on Let's Play Super Mario 64 DS. Instead, we are now moving on to the 3rd floor of Princess Peach's castle. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Later, fellas.